Well, it seems that something cool is actually happening over at PlayStation, folks. As you can see by here, they have launched the beta program at PlayStation. You can help PlayStation continue to deliver the very best experiences. Sign up for the opportunity to be among the first to test participating games, console features, and more. I will leave this link below for you if you want to give it a go. I've already signed up for this because, well, this next part is what I'm actually very excited about. Types of beta in the program. You can playtest new games on PS5 or on PC, which is we're going to get to in a minute. So for the PlayStation, you can get access to new games and give your expert opinion to influence improvements before release day. Testing focus areas may include game concepts, which that's a pretty cool little thing. You can be like, oh, right, okay, we got this new one coming out. It could be 2D, 3D, side-scrolling or whatever. We want to see if what people would actually think of if they're playing it and get your feedback. Great. But then you can also see by there, trials of the games, early, mid, or later stages of that game's development. So for me, the first thing that pops to my mind is, for any participating game, to me, I'm thinking it's going to be like Insomniac Games and, Naughty Dog, other PlayStation-owned game companies. Insomniac Games, they got brand new Wolverine coming out, they got a Venom game coming out. Imagine waking up in a couple of days' time, couple of months or whatever, and you see an email from Sony Beta Program. Would you like to playtest Venom or Wolverine? How amazing would that be? So that's what I'm really looking forward to there. And obviously, if you are on PC, PlayStation games do normally come out on Steam. Again, give or take, it can be a couple of weeks, couple of months, or even a couple of years, as in Spider-Man 2. But Helldivers 2 was released on Steam and on PlayStation last year at the same time. But there's a bit of a wrinkle in the old thing with PC. You actually have to have a PlayStation Network account, which is kind of a piss take. That's how I see that, because what if you don't own a PlayStation, but you own a PC and Steam and you play like Helldivers, you play Spider-Man 2, you play all of those kind of games, and then they're like, oh yeah, you need a PlayStation account though. I haven't got a PlayStation. Well, if you want to play these, you have to have one, which is a little bit annoying, because that's how PlayStation can go, oh, so many people signed up for PlayStation this month or that month or whatever. We had a whole hoo-ha last year when Helldivers 2 was released, because it gave you the option, if you got a PlayStation and Network account, you can sign in, or if you haven't, don't bother. 2 months into the game, what did Sony do? They shut down people who were playing that game in the Philippines and other parts of Europe and eastern parts of the world where PlayStation Network is not allowed. And what did they do? They closed those games down. Well, you can't play this game because, well, you haven't got a PlayStation account. So that's the only thing I'm thinking about there, which could be a wrinkle in this whole thing if you want to play test on PC. But then you got this by here, which this is the kind of one I'm actually looking forward to the most, even more than playing games. PS5 console features. Now, for me, I've always seen the PlayStation, whether it be 2, 3, 4, or 5, I've always looked at it as a media does it all player, basically. You can play CDs, you can play music, you can stream, play games, do whatever. And obviously with the internet access as well, you can just search the web and you can do everything basically that you can do on a PC sort of thing on a PS5 console nowadays. But the one thing that still cracks me up, and I don't know why they've kind of gone backwards with it though, is PlayStation 5 voice chat parties. PlayStation 4, the chat parties, were absolutely amazing. You could log in, you could get it, and it was crystal clear. It was absolutely amazing. There was no lag, there was no delays, there was nothing. Then they kind of just taken a step back for the PlayStation 5. Again, though, that's just my opinion. I really do think that they need to step it up to be on par with like Discord and, Steam chat and everything else. And if they want people to keep using their chat, because a lot of video games now, they're saying if you use in-game chat, you get a better player experience. Obviously, like with Call of Duty and other things like that, you have proximity chat. If you have, Grand Theft Auto, fair enough, that's like an old game anyway. But if you chat in the world, it just sats a bit like, because you could be anywhere in the map and still hear people. That could be a bit rubbish. But then you think of games like Phasmophobia, where the in-game chat is needed, because obviously that's how the ghosts hear you, and you can get interactions that way. But I do think they need to do it. Just say you got two mates on console, PS5, and you just want to have a voice chat while you're playing a game, I don't know, Call of Duty Zombies or something. You could just use a voice chat, and it should work to a T. It shouldn't be like, it's taking us a while to connect. Oh, what's going on with this now? I gotta stop this, turn it off, rehash. On PS4, you didn't have to do that at all, So I hope they bring something good out with these console features. But it also says, though, that they will do brand new features, brand new system software innovations, which, again, that could be anything. But fingers crossed it's good. Then you've got the PlayStation app and PlayStation.com features. Now, for me, I don't really use the app. I just use the app for stars. That is all I do. Right, I've bought a game or I've done a new subscription or whatever. How many stars have I got? What can I redeem? That's it. Anything else on it is a bit like, well, I don't know, It's not like people are going to be using the PlayStation app like Facebook Messenger or, WhatsApp. They're not going to be using it. Yes, you can see if your people are online, your friends are, send them a message if they are, and you can see it pop up. But this day and age, the majority of people have notifications either set to be right back or turned off if they're playing a game. So fingers crossed they can get around something that will actually make that a little bit more inviting. So like say you're online and you got a friend who's not online, but he sends a message through the app and it comes up, instead of just saying, new message, it could be new message received from app or something like that from a mate or whatever. So something like that, who knows? And then you got PlayStation.com features, which I look at that and think, who uses PlayStation.com all the time? Really? They got a bit of news on there. If there's no brand new use, get off. That's literally it. And obviously you get people who, they buy some games or whatever. But the majority of times, PlayStation.com isn't exactly a useful website. It's not. So I don't know what they're on about by there. But they say they want to create an even better online experience for everyone. No idea. But then you got by here about how do you actually become a member. So you do just sign up, sign in with your email, which is also your PlayStation Network one. And as you can see by there, to be considered for the beta program of PlayStation Now, you must have a valid account for PlayStation Network in good standing. Accounts with restrictions or violations may not be eligible for participation. You gotta live in a region where PlayStation beta program is available, and obviously the legal age requirement. But out of all of this one we just had highlighted, if it's in good standing, and it says if you've got any restrictions or violations, you may not be eligible to participate. And I was thinking okay, so say someone received a message, they sent a message back, and they reported your message to just a PlayStation or whatever, and you receive a violation. That's actually what happened to my mate. And it was actually really funny because the person who sent the message, it was just full of everything that people will be like, oh my God, you can't say that to people this day and age. So he sent one back, very similar, and he got a PlayStation report back saying he got a violation. That was 5 years ago during COVID. And by here, it does say about, what does an account in good standing mean? Your account has not been suspended and there have been no breach to terms outlined in the PlayStation Network Terms of Service, which includes the Community Code of Conduct. So for that one there, obviously, is if you do message someone or you say something hateful to someone and they report you for it, that's what it's going to be. But what if it was like 4 to 5 years ago? You know, maybe you had violations on, PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4. Are they still on your account? Do they still go towards, oh, sorry, you can't do this? I do think they need to answer that question, because I've seen a few people actually putting that on the forums and also on social media, and Sony PlayStation, they haven't got back to any of them. So it's going to be interesting to see how this can actually pan out and be used, because in the end, I think this could actually be very, very good for Sony PlayStation, especially if you get people able to play games before others. But you won't be able to talk about them, because at the very bottom, it does state that you will be signing a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. Sometimes they can be just 1 page, 2 pages, but sometimes they can be up to 19 pages, which is what I signed a couple of years ago, and let me tell you, it's not worth the hassle. It's really not. But fingers crossed, people get chosen, and they can play awesome, awesome games that could help you build something even better. Let us know what you think about this down below, folks, but until then, I will see you soon.